It is late spring in year one of the Ascension Wars, and this is Monday Night Dominions.
Doo doo doo.
Do 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 do. Yes, we currently have two hot wars going on. On one side of the map, you have Caelum and their brutal takedown of Uruk. Actually, Uruk has not lost any significant amounts of troops or their god, but Caelum has a significant advantage in mobility, and Uruk had to give up a lot of land to avoid this turning into a 3v1.
Yeah,
So we are.
if you look at that army, like let's watch that battle. It looks like Caelum honestly did not bring that many troops. I think if Uruk had somehow, and this would have been very difficult, predicted exactly where Caelum was going, he could have plopped all his sacreds and his god on this and won the battle. So as Uruk, I'm a little. I look at this and I would say I think this is going to split up and raid me rather than I think this is going to move to my cap next turn.
Yeah, and in fact, I don't think Uruk is like super dead immediately. I just think Uruk is too behind, and wars with Caelum will take forever in a day, especially because Caelum is protected by this wall of like deserts.
Right.
Which,
Uruk can't get troops to Caelum's forts without Caelum just
you know,
leapfrogging over him and like
like
sieging his
how
cap
is
down.
how is Uruk gonna get here through this forest, and then through either on this fort or on this woods, and then onto the
Yeah.
and then Caelum's like, oh, I'm just gonna eat all this.
Right. Or
It's
Caelum
gonna
then recalls everything and drops air elementals or something and things go wrong for Uruk.
Yeah, I believe these troops here are here to take possession of this fort, which is in province to end.
Yep.
Um,
Yes, you have
but
to.
yeah,
I'm looking at this and I'm seeing, it's going to be very hard for Caelum to finish off Uruk, given he's got that strong awake, he's got a good bless, he's got strong sacreds, he's got big heavy hitting troops. But Uruk could easily be reduced to a city-state status with his cap and sort of, a couple provinces from his cap circle if Pythium and Caelum are both constantly just raiding him.
is the Pythium war hot? The
Not
Pythium will
yet.
be hot in a couple turns,
I
right?
think they've got 2 turns to go in.
Yeah, and this stack will be pretty good at finishing them off. So the 2v1 is not looking good for Uruk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would, as Pythium, want to be fighting for the cap with the knowledge. I mean, maybe if I made like a year-long NAP with Caelum, but it's a little. I'd be worried that I finally storm the cap, I trade, I lose most of my army, but get the cap. Oh, surprise! Caelum decides that I'm getting invaded next.
Anyway, on the other side, we've still got this conflict between Tartary and Ermor. Nothing big happens this turn. Tartary continuing to raid. Ermor has a stack of like soulless and ghouls here, which don't really do anything. Is Tartary's god awake yet? Doesn't look
Checking
like
the cap. Doesn't look
No,
like
it
it.
doesn't. Yeah.
It looks like
But
Tartary is setting up to intercept that Ermor stack, but I mean, hopefully the god wakes up next turn for him, but it'll be kind of awkward if it doesn't.
I think it'll be fine. These are unarmored long dead. Sorry, these are unarmored ghouls and soulless, so they should be fine.
With some knights, but you're right, and I don't think Tartary actually has very many sacreds. Maybe the sacreds will ride out and join this stack on that province, but we'll see.
Maybe.
I think even if the god doesn't wake up, that's enough like horsepower to beat an army that is largely chaff from Ermor. Especially, we know he's got 3 priests in that stack, sort of closer to Ermor. He's probably got a couple more in his cap he can bring in. So I would predict that's an overwhelming victory for Tartary.
I'd love to see some fat PD dumps here. No.
Yeah, I mean, if I were Tartary, I'd PD dump it. Put 200 horses in it. You can't be too careful. As Ermor, I would probably not attack that province, but we'll see.
Well, they don't have a lot of other paths.
I mean, I think as Ermor here, you're in a bad spot. You've got half the provinces of anyone else in the game. I think you're looking to try to play Man and Tartary off each other. If I were Ermor here, I'd say, whoever gives me the biggest bribe, I will ally you for the rest of the year. And just see what happens. Because it can't get any worse for Ermor.
I mean, it is possible if Ermor says, "Hey, Tartary, I'm not going to attack you. And actually, okay, wait. Here's an idea. Ermor says to Tartary, "Hey, you want to be buddies? I will invade Ulm.
That's not a bad idea.
Like, hey, if you give me like a couple provinces, I will invade Ulm for you."
Yeah, like you
And
know, if I were either of them, something like two provinces or so for
heck, hey,
Ermor
Ermor
switching side.
can invade Man too.
Yeah, Ermor could raid both of them. He's not going to kill any stacks with what he's got, but he could be very annoying for both of them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So the other Cold War here is, we still have another 2 turns before the invasions of Man and Ulm begin. But yeah, that's basically things stand right now. Oh yeah, there's one other battle. Arco. Arco's god is finally on the field in all of its naked glory.
Rhodes called.
Yes, Rhodes called. It's got an enchanted pike, an ice helmet. I'm not sure why it has an ice helmet, but
I think he just needed a hat of some kind.
yeah.
It's
It's got enchanted ring though, just in case you hit this size 6 thing on the head and 25 protection is not enough.
Yeah, you like to see the length 6 pike for repel, but you don't like to see the only 10 attack on it.
Well, let's see what we got here. I know we thought
Missed
this was
form?
the god to beat in this game, so let's see how it starts off the battle.
Iron skin. Oh, it
casting
flew.
flight.
Flew. That's
Iron
risky. That's
Is that an
risky
iron
to.
skin?
Yeah, he iron skinned. That's risky to
Wow.
jump all the way to the back line because that other. Oh my god, the mage decayed it. Looks like
Oh,
that's what you're afraid of, like jumping into the back line with an SC.
I see. Yeah, there are some ticks of age. Well, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Well, it's got 3,000 more years to live.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, these are definitely not the highest quality troops, and as we discussed in I think the 2nd or 3rd episode, Shockwave around is what the mage wants to cast up script. So you are not going to turn timer that.
Yeah, you just got to be careful of that flight and like landing in front of a shatter mage or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it does look like the decay is doing a fair bit of damage to him. I guess it's 1 point of damage per tick.
For a period of time, but
ultimately, it doesn't seem to have done anything at all. But
yeah, I mean, if that happened like 3 or 4 more times, they might start to approach its actual max age. But I don't
probably
think
not a concern.
Yeah, probably not. Even if it hits max age, like
right,
doesn't really matter. But yeah, nothing else here happening from a. Oh, these mooch really pick these.
Wow, let's watch that because I think last turn I was predicting they might not make it.
Yeah, no, you mooch are great. Look at this. You got.
I did not respect the mooch.
Size 2. It's size 2 with.
Tritons are size 2.
I got 12 strength though.
Let's watch that really quick. There they are, the pride and joy of M.A. Zabalba. Tritons they're certainly not elites, but they're not bad. Well, maybe they're pretty bad.
Yeah, so there's a damage differential here, definitely.
The ones with armor are pretty decent troops.
Length differential.
But of course, that coral armor is not proccing poison because the little frogs have spears instead of knives or something.
Yeah, I think it was just numbers here. I think we saw a scouting report that showed a lot of people, but they actually had a numerical advantage there. I think there were like 70 on the scouting report, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that is a big province. So Ulm can
90 income, and that everyone has put Ulm now in contention for the top spot in income.
God,
despite
that's
the
amazing.
Despite the fact that I think we have just recently put them as C tier in our national ranking system.
Yeah, kind of awkward. We made a little tier list, and the tied for #1 nation in income is only C. But I suppose that's
in fact, the other one is B.
Yeah, I suppose Tartary. I think we both agree Tartary could get big fast if it sort of gets out of the 3v1 and then is given the chance to win battles, or could get ground down if it can't break up the 3v1. The trick with Ulm will be, Ulm's doing fine. They could turtle from here. it doesn't, given that Ulm and Man and Arco have made what seems like a fairly long-term alliance, I have to wonder sort of where Ulm is going to grow. Like, it's going to be
Well,
hard to grow from Tartary. Eriu's kind of sketchy unless he can get Arco to help, or unless Pancake can get Arco to help.
I think Ulm is definitely going for the turtle strategy. We've got a lot of PD in every single province, and I think we've got forts going up. Already 4 forts in Ulm. Beaten only by Ind, actually. Ind has a lot of forts.
And Ind will have another fort. Let's look at the terrain where Ind is putting up those forts.
Yeah, let's take a look at what Ind is
I see
doing.
2 forest forts. That's pretty unusual for Ind, because if I remember correctly, they cannot make mages in those forts. They can only make a bunch of crossbows and knights and chariots and such, which are very good troops, but
putting forts in particular provinces unlocks capital recruits, if I remember correctly.
I thought it was only recruits in that province. Like in a mountain fort, for example, you could recruit the dog-headed berserkers.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think I play tested Ind once, and that's how it worked, unless they changed it.
Got it.
So it looks like Ind is picking up some forest provinces, maybe he's not building labs there. He's probably recruiting or thinking about recruiting troops and maybe some priests or something. And then the plains provinces will be, I think they can be either those little, what do you call them, the hobbits, or the SF Amazon characters.
Yeah. I continue to not know anything on Ind.
Yeah, we'll see what pops up.
But these look like some free money sitting around. Oh, actually, this one looks like it has a well of pestilence in it or something.
Yeah.
But we've got the Throne of War here sitting in the bottom of this lake. Ind would really like this because they lack attack, morale, and defense.
Mm-hmm.
The
question is
all on strength.
How is Ind going to get in there? Because if Ind waits long enough, those Olmish frogs are going to come down and clear it.
Yeah, and Eriu would also love that,
Yeah.
So, I think it'll be an interesting fort to see. This will be an interesting province to see who wants to get this throne of war.
Yeah, and none of the 3 of them are under any real pressure. Ind and Eriu are not in any wars at all, and Ulm is sort of on the right side of a 3v1. So they could all justify, some investment into getting those underwater provinces.
Indeed. Anyway, that's the state of things going forward. I think, the real place to watch here is going to be Tartary. They could go 100 to 0 or 0 to 100 very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If they wipe a couple of these stacks, which they absolutely could with correct positioning, suddenly Man's in a bad position. Suddenly maybe Ind comes here and attacks Man,
That would be the longest Ind, imaginable.
It would be a very long Ind.
But you never know.
But yeah, I mean...
Maybe Pythium takes a bite out of Man if Man really screws up.
Pythium, oh yeah, Pythium. Can Pythium take a bite out of Man? I guess it can a little bit, yeah.
It would also be a very long Pythium.
There's still all these indies next to Pythium.
That's kind of strange. I feel like Pythium's got no excuse leaving those up.
Yeah, I mean, what are these?
Or Man,
What are we doing here? We got a nice little throne. Oh yeah, that's right. They could use the gems, but they're not going to like the magic scale.
Pythium's got that throne encircled, so you can take that anytime.
But what is this? There's a province down here. Did they promise this to Caelum or something?
I think there was some contention. I think that's promised to Pythium. I think Caelum was sort of angling for it, but got turned away.
I imagine. Oh no, our scout is diseased.
No, that's a bad
Good thing it's undead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you think if you're Pythium here, you could rush to join the fight against Uruk, or you could kind of sit back, clear Indies, and let Caelum lose some troops first to soften them up.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pythium has somehow plenty of time to do whatever it wants.
Yeah.
Include going on Man, include going on Tartary if they win, including going in on Uruk more,
Or if Uruk, kills Caelum's god and a stack, Pythium could conceivably flip and go for Caelum. I think, Caelum may be one of the biggest and best positioned nations here, but I think Pythium is a very strong second.
No, yeah, absolutely. Pythium has a lot of stuff and no enemies, which is
Yep.
where you want to be.
Yep.
As Pythium. Especially because, or Pythium can play tall. Like, just get those communions out.
He's got
Get that.
5 more indie provinces he could take. Most of them with a lot of gold. And he's sort of on the right side of a 2v1. So it's got a lot of growth potential, even though Pythium, like at the moment, is not at the top of the charts.
Absolutely.
I don't respect research graphs this early. I really don't.
No, I know.
I think if you're a good player, you should be at the dead bottom of the research graph.
No, I'm just interested in. I mean, the Arco Iron Skin. What's that? Alt 3? Or maybe it's only Alt 2.
I think it's Alt 2. I think Iron Warriors is Alt 4.
Alt 5, I think. Or is it Alt 4? It might be Alt 4.
Pretty sure it's 4.
Iron Warriors is always more than I remember it to be. I think that's it for this turn. We'll have to see how things continuate.
Yeah, next turn, I believe Man, Ulm, and Tartary all go to war. The NAPs expire.
Yeah, it's soon. It's soon. Will Pythium defeat these indies? Will these two nations actually ever fight a battle? Who knows?
Find out next time.
Next time.